G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm David. Today I'm having a little bit of a look forward. These are all trees that haven't been on the channel yet. They're not trees that I'm going to be doing too much to this year, but they're up and coming trees that I've been doing little bits of work on over the last year, 2 years, some a little bit longer than that. And you'll probably see them, probably not this growing season, next growing season, so towards the end of 25. And I just want somewhere that I can look back on and see basically where they were in spring 24. I won't be doing any work to them, just wanted to put them on the channel so I've got a reference point to look back on. Some of you may be interested in what I've got up and coming. This one's a pretty iconic Australian tree. It's a silky oak. It's in the Grevillea family. It's probably not ideally suited to bonsai. These leaves, like that whole thing is a leaf. It's quite large. So how it's going to end up looking as a mature tree, I don't know. I have grown it, given it a trunk chop. May have even given it a second one at some point. Probably leave it grow a little bit more yet, try and get a bit more size, a bit more thickness in the trunk. No real plans for it. I've got 2 of these growing, so it'll just be a case of letting them grow and then seeing what the tree offers up and what I think I can do with it style-wise at the time. But that's a pretty iconic Australian tree. Another really iconic Australian tree that everybody in Australia will know. You probably can't really see it inside this pot. I wonder if I can get it out. There we go, I'll be gentle. This one's a Queensland bottle tree. For anybody that doesn't know the Queensland bottle tree, you're not Australian for a start, but I'll put a picture up of what a mature one looks like, and ideally I would like this to replicate a mature tree if I can. I have trunk chopped it back here once already. I may chop it lower, I'm not sure, but ideally the goal is to get this to ramify into a bit of a canopy and for this trunk to fill out in that typical bottle shape. Will it do it? Oh, I don't know. But if I could end up with a tree about yay high that looks like an adult bottle tree, like how cool would that be? That would be awesome. But that's up to the tree. I don't know if it'll work or not. Sticking with the Australian natives, this is a ficus. Ficus Henniana. Yeah, Henniana. It's a strangler fig from northern New South Wales area, and it's actually deciduous, so it loses all its leaves here in winter. Again, no real plan for this one. It's just a cool tree, you know, deciduous ficus. Not too many of them are deciduous, so, well, not the ones that grow in our areas anyway. So I just thought it might make a cool tree. It's starting to get some nice buttress looking roots growing, so I reckon in time that'll probably grow into a nice tree. Long way to go on that one yet. Now they're not all Australian natives, but I do love my Australian natives. This one is super cool. The bark on this, it's a Leptospermum brachyandrum. It's got this cool peeling bark on it, droopy leaves. I've just been working on getting a little bit of trunk shape to it. Probably get another leader up here somewhere, and then I'll start working on a nice little canopy. It's going to have some cool flaky bark all over it. I think that's got potential to be a really nice little tree. I just hope I can get the proportions right in a smaller tree. Otherwise I'm going to have to grow it for a lot longer and thicken the trunk up and make it a, 2 foot tall tree. But I think it's got a lot of potential, that one. One of my favourite up and comers, that one. One that I have shown on the video before, probably on my very first video when I started the channel. Something I was mucking around with was these Leptospermums that I grew from seed, just twisting them into all sorts of weird shapes. Not too many of them turned out all that nice. I don't mind this one. It's starting to get a bit of flaky bark and stuff on it. And with a bit more time, I think it'll come along all right, but it's just been sitting in the background and I haven't really been working on it. So to tell you the truth, it's almost died a couple of times through neglect. It gets overshadowed by other trees, and then my waterers can't get to it and it dries out. But it's come to the fore again, and it'll be put in an area where it can get a little bit more care. And yeah, I think that one's got a little bit of promise. You may see that one later on this year, maybe. That's it for natives. There's not many trees left. This one sort of looks like a native, but it's not. This is a rainbow gum. It's had a bit of an insect attack lately, so it doesn't look super healthy, but it is actually not too bad. I've got two of these. One I'm leaving just to grow vertical. I'm trying to get thickness in the trunk. I'd like to do something like with a bit of a tapered trunk, big tall tapered trunk in a typical eucalypt style of growth. This one I originally had a plan to have a really twisted and contorted trunk like the snow gums you see in alpine areas. The tree didn't really like to grow like that. It kept dropping branches, and yeah, it didn't really want to grow like that. So I don't really have a plan going forward for this one either. Maybe just try and get a bit more movement in the trunk, and you know, maybe it'll be a little bit of a twisted eucalypt and grow a canopy up top. But ideally I'd like to get enough size in the trunk that when it peels its bark off every year, you can see those multicolored layers that these things are famous for. That's the main reason for wanting to grow rainbow gums. I haven't seen them a lot in bonsai. I've seen online a few people that have had a go at them and not had a lot of luck with them, especially when it comes to root pruning. They seem to drop dead, but I haven't got that far yet, so we'll see how that goes. This one here, bald cypress or swamp cypress. I've got three of these. This is probably the smallest of the three. It's been given a couple of trunk chops, trying to get a bit of taper into it. The other two are thicker, and they've been trunk chopped just recently as well. Depending on how well they grow this season, you may see a video on these ones later on. But they seem to love our climate. One I've got just sitting in a tub of water. It sits in the tub 24/7 and seems to love it. It's the biggest of the three. But yeah, this is a pretty cool tree. One of the few non-natives that I really do like and really grows well here. So yeah, maybe later in the year that one will come on as well. And last but not least, don't have a lot of conifers. This one's a cedar, a blue cedar. I really am out of my depth with these. I have no idea. I mean, I'm out of my depth with most things, but I just have a go at stuff and see how it turns out. But cedars, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to do a bit of reading on these. I've had it sitting on the bench for a year or so now. It's grown a bit, puts out has a few growth spurts a year, but yeah, I don't know. Pines and all the conifers, they just look foreign to me. I don't really know what to do with them. You read so much about needle plucking and candle chopping and all this other crap. It just sort of leaves you a bit daunted, I suppose, on where to take your first steps with them. But yeah, so I don't really know what's going to happen with this one, but it needed to be on the video just so I've got something to look back on when I do take the big step and do something stupid with it, just to see where it started. And that's it. That's some of my up and coming trees for next year. There are a few more out there, not a lot, but I've got a few other ones that'll probably make an appearance in the next year or two, and like most people, I'm collecting them as I go. You always seem to find something whenever you go to town. Yeah, no, but that's it. That's some of my up and coming trees. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.